Hello all. We are here to present our research on navigating the rink, analyzing zone entry sequences, and expected threat in ice hockey. Myself, Ragini, Vignesh, and Priyansh. We three are part of this research. And yeah, so ice hockey, we know for its intense pace and critical moments. We have done our research on the critical moments that finishes in scoring goals. So there were many factors that were considered for predicting the outcome of the team, ranging from individual team performances to cohesive strategies deployed by the team. So among these factors, we have looked closely into the offensive zone entries, the strategies uh, that were deployed by the team to advance the puck beyond the blue line and enter into the opposition's defensive zone. So yeah, so when it comes to thesis statement, while passing the puck, the entering the offensive zone from center of ring is more effective and danger reducing. Our, our research was drawn from the findings of Nick Suzo and Shulmon, who has done research in the related themes. So we have done our research from the 156 games of 2023 Swedish Hockey League, and the to do the spatial analysis, and our rink is we have selected the ring, and our rink is divided into 9 longitudinal lanes, and the middle one is considered as the middle lane, and the other 8 lanes were divided into middle right, middle left, left, and right. So each of them has two categorized into two lanes, and the further findings will be explained by me.
Hi. So further, we have got the background of our research, and then we have the thesis statement as well, and then what we have to do. So we will, for to aid our research, we have used two methodologies. One is that expected threat, and then the next is the entry sequence analysis. So what is expected threat? Expected threat is a work of Sarah Rood from 2011, and then it was later mm, mm, what no, later developed by Karun Singh, and then we adopted to it in the. It was actually in the soccer, so that we adapted to the ice hockey. So it actually accesses to the likelihood of the scoring opportunities, which can lead to the specific gameplays in the ice hockey, especially. So how is it we calculated the expected that? So we have two components: one is offensive threat and defensive threat. So in order to calculate the offensive threat, we have the quantified the probabilities of transition between events, including short movements and then preceding movements as well, short attempts and preceding movements as well. So that we also used a Markov chain analysis to include the transition matrices. And then finally, we will get the offensive threat. A defensive threat is the just flipping the matrices of offensive threat and then negating, multiplying with one, so that negating it, so that we can the defensive threat. So idea is that whenever a player enters into a zone, and then you will be on the offensive range. But the defensive threat is that what is the threat we will receive when the defensive team will try to oppose him. So that we thought we will calculate the offensive threat and defensive threat to find out the net expected threat. So is that the summation of both the offensive and defensive with the net expected threat. So we have this expected threat. And next methodology is that entry sequence analysis. So this is a custom method we developed to analyze the entry sequences. Actually, this methodology includes processing the data, so that we have the entry sequences for each and every events. So the event we considered mainly is that passes and carries, and also puck possession. So sorry, just I forgot. So from this diagram, we can see the blue one represents the defensive threat, and then the red color represents the offensive threat. So we have the net threat overall here. And this in this entry sequence analysis, like I said, we do a data processing to isolate the entry sequences, the events which we use to uh, mm, use for research is that mainly pass and carries, so that we also track the pugs from which lane to which coordinates, from which coordinates to which coordinates it will move, and then so that we will get an entry sequence. I mean, entry sequence or such a sequence of events, so that it will lead to a successful zone entries. So now we have to have the methods to find out what to do, and then we will look into the analysis. I mean, the results of what our methods has given. Over to Priyansh.
To look into the results, first of all, we plot the violin plot for different lanes and the different expected threads. So we can see like for the sequences, the number of sequences in the left lane and the right lane are like peak, are like the maximum number of sequences, and we can see in the middle in the middle lanes like not compared to the other lens, like compared to the left and right, there are less number of sequences. We can even see the expected thread values in the left and the right are comparable with the other middle lens. So this will not give us an clear view like which lane will be preferable to make an John entry. So to get the more detail, we divided the all the lanes and XT values, like the expected thread values for the passes and carries. We found a interesting fact here. We can see like the middle, left, and right for the passes, the expected thread values are highest, but the same thing for the carry, middle left, like for the middle lane, middle left, and middle right lanes, these are negative values. So what we find it like the negative values are like the defensive threat will be higher in these lanes if we carry the puck in the offensive zone. So our like yeah. So and in case of passes, the offensive threat will be higher from the middle lens. So so we what we will conclude is like the offensive zone entry through the center of the ring while passing the puck have higher threat on opposition, while if we will make the offensive zone entry from the sides of the uh, from the sides of the ring, and while carrying the puck it even induce a lose of possession of the puck, so it will induce a risk of losing the position. This research can be extended to the future zones, like what happens after the zone entry, how can a successful zone entry can be converted to the goal, and how can we avoid the fouls, the penalties. Here we have combined three researches. Two of them are presented last year here in the LINHAC. So if you combine all three of them, this is one of the sequence which it gives like the research where did the get out by Tim Keller. If it says like we should exit the defensive zone from the sides of the ring, and our research says like we should try to cross the blue line, the next blue line, and enter the offensive zone from middle of the ring. And the research by on the attack by Anton and all says like we have higher opportunities to score a goal if we are in the center of the ring when we are in the offensive zone. So that's all from outside.
Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions?
Tim?
Could you go back to the main results? I was trying to understand what the y-axis is showing here. I missed something. I'm sorry.
Okay, the y-axis shows the number of sequences in that particular lane. So we can see the left and right lanes are having the maximum number of sequences for the control zone entry.
So I'm trying. So why is it? It looks like there are some negative values.
Yeah. No, the this peaks shows like the number of sequences which are like crossing from the left lane or the right lane. Like let's say if a player is trying to trying to enter the offensive zone, in which sides of the rink he is making the entry. So the peak values will show the number of times a player made an entry from the left side for the left thing, and the right side like
It's horizontal.
yeah, so that is the expected thread, how that expected how that particular entry will be having the thread on the defensive or the
So we're trying to understand, why is there a bump below the line and above the line?
that is that is like the number of sequences, that is the just a way to play. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, it just a count. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Any other questions?